It's kind of like the tagline of this readathon is rest, relax and read. And thank you for joining me. It's Kirsten and today we're doing the Tackle Your TBR Readathon Announcement. For those of you that are new here, the Tackle Your TBR is a bi-monthly readathon that I started because I needed a reminder to take one day to just rest, relax and get a bit of reading done, and that it was okay to tell people, no, I'm not doing any plans, that I am going to take this day to rest and also, you know, not spend my time editing like a gremlin. And then it became popular enough that some of you asked to take part, and it's now a full-on readathon. We do have a Discord channel dedicated to it, so if you would like to join Discord and jump in with everyone's announcements of what they're going to be reading for it and also how they're finding the books and get some live updates from me at the time that I'm doing it, then feel free to join. It's all free. This readathon for February is going to be taking place on the 17th of February, and I do have 4 prompts. However, you do not feel obligated to use the 4 prompts, or if you want to double up on them and stuff. It's a super chill readathon. So I do this for one day, 24 hours, although I do sleep because I can't be going without sleep. However, some people do this across a week, a month, some people use the prompts, some people don't. It is completely up to you. It's just that reminder to please take a bit of time for yourself to rest, relax and prioritise that. With that out the way, as said, it is taking place on February 17th for myself, so I will be updating in Discord what I'm reading during that day. And what I am reading, well, let's get to that. So the first prompt is really super simple, which is read a book off your TBR. Any book, whatever you want it to be. And this time I am going with Lips Touch by Lani Taylor. This is a book I picked up at YALC, which is a young adult literature convention that I went to, and I didn't even know this was out. I'm really excited for this. This is a short story collection. I believe there are 4 short stories in here. I am so excited for this. I mean, just look at how beautiful this is. That's the title page of one of the short stories in here. There's 3 stories, which are about the deliciousness of wanting and waiting for that moment when lips touch. So we have, in Victorian times, goblins offered sumptuous fruits in exchange for maidens' souls. In Spicy Little Curses, a demon and the ambassador to hell tussle over the soul of a beautiful English girl in India. And then we have Hatchlin. 6 days before Esme's 14th birthday, her left eye turns from brown to blue. I think it's going to be really fun, like just 3 short stories all about that moment before lips touch. It sounds really good, and what better time to read it than in February. Honestly, when I saw this on the table and read the back, I was like, oh, that's going to be perfect for the readathon in February. I think it's going to be fantastic. Lani Taylor is the author of the Strange the Dreamer duology, which I absolutely love. So yeah, I'm so excited for this. I really like the cover as well. I'm very happy to have this one on. Also, this is probably a good point to say that as much as I talk about 4 books for these 4 prompts, I don't always read them all. Sometimes I'm just not feeling in like the massive reader mood, and so like the last readathon that happened in December, yeah, I read 2 books across that whole day because I ended up doing other things, and that's fine as well. But I'm going to have these 4 books. A couple of these I'm not sure, and they might end up changing, but one that is 100% getting read on the 17th for the readathon is Lips Touch. Moving on to a book I keep putting off. Well, actually, this one and the final prompt, they're interchangeable, but one that I keep putting off is The Wind in the Willows by Kenneth Grahame. I kept putting this off because I wanted to do a dedicated daily reading vlog for this book, which I might do. So this one is one of the maybe ones as to whether I get to this. I might end up swapping it out for something else, or I do actually have a couple bigger books, so I might want to focus on that instead. But this is definitely a book I want to read soon. This is a children's classic. I actually don't know anything about this, but I always get told whenever I talk about this that it's on my TBR by you lot to read this, to prioritise this, that it's a really good cozy read. And like I say, I had been planning for absolute ages to do a daily reading vlog around this. I just hadn't got around to it, so I'm putting it on this TBR. I may read it for the readathon, I may end up reading it for a separate reading vlog, or I may just not get to it. Like, I'm not sure. I really want to read this one. I want to read it soon as well, because judging from the snow, this is set in winter, so I don't want to carry it on until next winter. So it's got to get read. So this is what we're going to do. If it's not for the readathon for whatever reason, then it will probably be in like the first week of March for that daily vlog. You're hearing it here. Hold me accountable to this. make sure I read this book. But yeah, it just sounds really, really cute. We're following a bunch of animals. We have rat, mole, badger, and the preposterous Mr. Toad. Apparently it's a Christmas favourite book as well, so I should have read this honestly in December. Probably would have been a better one to read it for, but I really, really need to read this book. And it's not even long. I don't even have an excuse. It's less than 200 pages. So yeah, hold me accountable. I need to get this one read. I need to put on as many TBRs as possible. This is also in my 24 to read in 2024. The more TBRs I put it on, the more chance I have of reading it. At least that's my logic. Hopefully it holds. We'll see. Okay, then we move on to the third prompt, which is not to finish a book. Well, actually, it's a prompt that you can take in two different ways, depending on what you want. So that is to continue a series or to finish a book you're already in the middle of. So say, for example, you're starting the readathon and you decide to take part of it on the 17th like me, but you started a book earlier that week that you haven't finished, and even if you only got 10 pages left of that book, well done, you've fulfilled the prompt, you've finished a book. I always take it as a series because I am notoriously bad at continuing on with series, and I have two different options that I do want to read. Because of the size of these, I'm not going to guarantee I'm going to get these read in a day, but I want to at least start one of these, so I need to do that. However, I just haven't decided. I'm going to let myself mood read out of these two to choose which one I want to start on the day. So the first one is In the Labyrinth of Drakes, a memoir by Lady Trent, and this is by Marie Brennan. This is the fourth book in the Natural History of Dragons series. I love this series, it is so good. However, I'm notoriously bad at continuing on with it because I know that these are going to be new favourite books, that I love this series. I really, really enjoy this series. I just need to stop putting it off, and that was another thing I was talking about in my 24 to read in 2024, is to stop putting off books that I know I'm going to enjoy. This is one of those. So this one, we're following Lady Trent. So Lady Trent is writing her memoirs, so she's looking back on her life and she's talking about the different adventures that she went on in her pursuit to study dragons. So in this world, it's kind of like alternate history. We're set kind of like, think like Edwardian time period. So you have the sensibilities of all of that, where women are expected to marry and have children, they're not expected to do loads of studies, and that natural history is seen as a very manly pursuit. It's not feminine, so she's not allowed to do it, but she fights against society and she goes off on this expedition to find all about dragons because she is obsessed. It's so good. I really, really enjoy this. You have illustrations throughout each book because Lady Trent is an artist. That's how she gets on her first expedition, is for being the artist for them. Different illustrations that go alongside with the things that Lady Trent is seeing, and then it all goes from there. I really enjoy it. Each book tackles a different area, a different type of dragon, as well as a different kind of comment on society. I know that once I finish the series, I'm going to reread it. This is going to be, it's a new favourite series. I absolutely love it, and I know that probably when I reread it I'll probably annotate because there is a lot of talk that you can do with society in this, and it really explores that really well. So I enjoy that. I enjoy seeing comments that it makes. In one of the books you have a commentary on gender roles, gender identification, so that was really interesting. You also have commentary on colonialism in one of them, in the pursuit to just like trample over other people that you see as lesser than you. You also have ones where it's commenting on the fact that women were not allowed to have access to education and how Lady Trent fights against that. Like, there's a lot actually that goes on. Or you can take it at surface level as a really fun fantasy book where we're exploring dragons and it is a scientific take on it. So we're seeing how they work and all of this. It's good. I really enjoy it. So that is one option. The other option is A Restless Truth by Freya Mask, and this was a gift from Naomi. So thank you so much, Naomi. This is the second book in a series that started off with A Marvellous Light, and I loved it. So again, it's kind of set in that same time period, like Edwardian times. Like Oscar Wilde is mentioned. I think he had just gone to prison. I love it. So again, it's alternate history with a bit of magic involved, and in the first book we're following two male characters, one who never even realised magic existed but needs a job because his family estate is fallen into disrepair, and he ends up getting a job for the magical side of the government when he's a bit like, wait, what? We have a magical side? And then he works with his person that's meant to be his partner to actually teach him the ways of magic, teach him all the protocols and everything. everything until they discover a plot, and there's also a romance. It is really fun, I really enjoyed it, and this is the second book in the series. We're following different perspectives, but it's continuing on with the plot line, so I'm really intrigued to see where it's going to go. This one is set on a boat, and we have a murder, and we have one of the characters that we are following in the first book. It's his sister that we're following in this book. I just don't know which one I want to start on that day. The likelihood of me starting and finishing it is slim, but I at least want to start one of these books. And the final prompt is read a short book. This can be interpreted in any way you want. This time for me, I've gone super short. I'm actually going to be reading Penguin Little Black Classic. These you can pick up for like £1 or £2 here in the UK, and they're really fun bite-sized pieces of work. Sometimes it is like this one, which is a snippet from a larger piece of work. Sometimes it is a complete short story. These are really good ways to test out classic books, classic authors, if you don't know whether you're going to get on with it. This is The Circles of Hell by Dante. I do have Inferno, and I do want to read it, but I'm also intimidated, so I picked up this one ages ago with the basis that I would give this one a try to see if I like it, because this is a poem and I don't read loads of poetry. So yeah, I want to give this one a try. This is going to be definitely one of the ones that I read because it's super short. It is 52 pages long, so I'm definitely going to get this read. These are the two priorities that I really want to read during the readathon. So we have Lips Touch and Circles of Hell. So this one is Dante's version of hell, how he goes off on this quest to the different levels of hell, and I don't know. I actually don't know. But yeah, this is a terrifying depiction of sin and eternal damnation. I'm gonna give it a try. I do want to at least try it, and we'll just see if I get on with the writing, if I get on with the fact that this is kind of like an epic poem. So those are the 4 books that I want to read for this readathon. Like I say, I think the least likely one to get read is actually going to be Wind in the Willows. Lips Touch, Circles of Hell are the 2 priorities, and then I would like to start either A Restless Truth or In the Labyrinth of Drakes. So we'll see what I actually get read. Sometimes I have an amazing reading day and I get loads done and I get loads read, and other times it just doesn't work out that way and I read maybe like a couple hundred pages. But that's absolutely fine. That is the point of this readathon, is actually to prioritise resting and relaxing, and if you're not in the reading mood, don't force it. I think that's quite enough rambling for me. I will have the playlist linked below of all the different readathon announcements and the readathon videos that I've done, so you can get a feel for it. Please let me know if you feel like taking part, even if it isn't on the exact same day, or you're gonna twist it into like a month-long readathon, whatever you want. As I said, Discord will be linked below if you'd like to take part over there. I have also made a graphic if you would like to use this. It will be on my Instagram stories and saved on there. So yeah, I think that is all the information you need. If you have any questions at all, just pop them in the comments below and I will get straight to you. But that is everything, I think, for this video. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you really enjoyed this readathon. I hope you just remember, even if you decide not to take part, please just remember to take a bit of time for yourself to rest and relax, as I have said many a times. But it's kind of like the tagline of this readathon is rest, relax and read. But right, I am going to stop talking. I actually want some food. I'm getting rather hungry. So thank you so much for watching. If you've made it this far, then let's put a heart in the comments below. I keep doing a heart at the minute, but yeah, just put a heart. Any colour heart that you like if you've made it this far and you don't know what else to say. If you have enjoyed it, then please do consider subscribing, giving it a thumbs up, commenting. Those 3 things really do help this channel out, so thank you so much. My social media links, anyone I've mentioned, will always be linked below, and I will of course catch you in the very next video.